Paul McCartney stood frozen in the doorway, staring at the dance floor, at Eric Clapton, at Pattie Boyd, George Harrison's wife, dancing too close, looking at each other too long, moving like they were the only two people in the room. Paul's hand tightened on his drink. This was wrong. This was a betrayal. This was his best friend's wife in another man's arms, and that man was supposed to be George's friend too. He walked across the room, tapped Eric on the shoulder, hard. "Can I talk to you? Now, outside." Eric turned, saw Paul's face, knew he'd been caught. "Paul, I can explain." "Outside now." What happened in the next 2 hours would force a conversation nobody wanted to have, would expose a secret that had been poisoning a friendship for months, would test the limits of honesty, loyalty, and what it means to do the right thing even when it destroys you. Paul caught Eric dancing with George's wife, and what he did next shocked everyone. Not because it was cruel, but because it was honest. Brutally, painfully, necessarily honest. This is that story. June 15th, 1970. London, a house party in Chelsea. 11 p.m. The party was intimate. Musicians, artists, friends. Maybe 40 people. The kind of gathering where everyone knew everyone and secrets were supposed to stay secret. Where what happened behind closed doors stayed behind closed doors. George Harrison was supposed to be there, had been invited, but he'd canceled last minute. Recording session running late, studio problems. He'd told Pattie to go anyway, enjoy herself. He'd meet her at home later. Pattie had come, beautiful as always. The woman who'd inspired something. The woman George had married in 1966. 4 years of marriage, complicated years. George was deep into meditation, spirituality, Indian philosophy. Sometimes that meant emotional distance. Sometimes that meant Pattie felt alone even when George was in the room. Eric Clapton was there too, George's friend, fellow guitarist, member of Cream, talented, successful, and secretly, desperately in love with Pattie Boyd. Had been for 2 years, since the first time George brought her to a recording session, since Eric saw her smile and felt his entire world shift. He tried to fight it, tried to ignore it, tried to convince himself it was just attraction. But it wasn't. It was love. Deep, consuming, impossible love. The kind that makes you write songs. The kind that makes you do stupid things. The kind that makes you betray your friends. Paul McCartney arrived late. Around 11 p.m., the Beatles had officially broken up 3 months earlier. April 1970, it was over. Done. But the friendships remained. Complicated, strained, but still there. George was still his friend, his brother, someone Paul would protect. Paul walked into the party, scanned the room, looking for familiar faces, found them. John in the corner arguing about politics, Ringo by the bar telling jokes, normal party stuff. Then he saw them, Eric and Pattie, on the dance floor, dancing, but not casual dancing, not friendly dancing, intimate dancing. Eric's hand on the small of her back, Pattie's head on his shoulder, moving slowly to music that wasn't that slow. Looking at each other with an intensity that made Paul's stomach drop. This wasn't innocent. This wasn't friendship. This was something else, something wrong, something that would destroy George if he knew. Paul's first instinct was to look away, to pretend he hadn't seen it, to let it be someone else's problem. But he couldn't, because George was his friend, his brother. And brothers don't let brothers get betrayed without saying something. He walked across the room, deliberately. People moved out of his way, sensed something was happening. Paul McCartney looked angry, focused, dangerous. He tapped Eric on the shoulder, hard enough to make a point. "Can I talk to you? Now. Outside." Eric turned, saw Paul's face, understood immediately. He'd been caught. The secret was out. "Paul, I can explain. Outside now, unless you want to have this conversation in front of everyone." Pattie stepped back, confused, scared. "Paul, what's wrong?" "Ask him," Paul said. Not looking at her, looking at Eric, making it clear this was between them. "Ask him what he's been hiding, what he's been doing, what he's been feeling." Eric's face went pale. He followed Paul outside, onto the back patio, away from the party, away from witnesses, into the London night where they could talk without being overheard. Paul turned on him. "What the hell are you doing?" "I don't know what you mean." "Don't lie to me. I saw you. Everyone in that room saw you. You were dancing with Pattie like you're in love with her. George's wife. Your friend's wife." "What the hell are you doing?" Eric looked at the ground, couldn't meet Paul's eyes. "It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think. You're in love with her, aren't you? You're in love with George's wife." Silence. Long, heavy, admitting everything without words. "How long?" Paul asked, voice quieter now, less angry, more sad. "How long have you been carrying this?" 2 years, maybe longer. I didn't mean for it to happen. I didn't choose it. I saw her and something changed. Something broke, and I've been trying to fight it, but I can't. I love her, Paul. I'm in love with her. Does George know? No. I've been trying to tell him. I've been working up the courage. But how do you tell your friend you're in love with his wife? How do you have that conversation? Honestly, directly, before he finds out from someone else, before you're caught dancing with her at a party where 50 people can see you. Eric looked up. "Are you going to tell him?" Paul took a breath, thought about it, about loyalty, about friendship, about what George deserved. "That depends. Are you going to tell him?" I don't know. I've been thinking about it, planning it, but I'm terrified. Terrified of losing his friendship, terrified of what it'll do to him, to all of us. You should be terrified. This will hurt him. This will destroy him. But you know what'll hurt him more? Finding out from someone else, finding out you've been lying, hiding, betraying him in secret while pretending to be his friend. I haven't betrayed him. I haven't acted on it. I haven't told Pattie. I haven't done anything except feel something I can't control. You were dancing with his wife at a party where anyone could see. That's acting on it. That's betraying him. Maybe not physically, but emotionally. You're already betraying him. Eric's eyes filled with tears. What do I do? How do I fix this? You tell him tonight. You go to George tonight and you tell him everything. The truth, all of it. You tell him you're in love with Pattie. You tell him you've been carrying this for 2 years. You tell him you're sorry, and then you let him decide what happens next. He'll hate me. He'll never forgive me. Maybe, or maybe he won't. Maybe George is evolved enough to handle this with grace, but you don't get to make that decision for him. You don't get to hide the truth because you're scared of the consequences. That's not friendship, that's cowardice. Eric wiped his face. And if I don't tell him, if I keep hiding it? Paul stepped closer, voice hard, final. Then I tell him, tomorrow. I go to George and I tell him everything I saw tonight. Everything you just admitted, and I let him know his friend has been lying to him for 2 years. Your choice, Eric. You tell him honestly, or I tell him and you lose any chance of him respecting you again. That's not fair. Life's not fair. George deserves to know. He deserves the truth. You tell him, tonight, or I will, tomorrow. That's your choice. Paul walked back inside, left Eric standing on the patio, shaking, terrified, but clear about what he had to do. Inside, Paul found Pattie, pulled her aside, gentle this time, not angry, just honest. Pattie, Eric's in love with you, has been for 2 years. He's going to tell George tonight. You should know. You should be prepared. This is going to get complicated. Pattie's eyes widened. What, Eric? No, that's not. We're just friends. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I believe you, but now you do know, and you need to think about what that means. For your marriage, for George, for all of us. She started crying. I love George, I do. But things have been hard. He's been distant, and Eric's been kind, attentive. But I didn't know he felt that way. I didn't encourage it. I know, but it's out now, and Eric's going to tell George. Tonight. Be ready for that conversation. Be honest with George. He deserves that from both of you. 3 hours later, around 2 a.m., Eric showed up at George's house. George was home. still awake. Surprised to see Eric at this hour, but not alarmed. They were friends. Friends showed up at odd hours sometimes. "Eric, what's going on? You look terrible. I need to talk to you about something I should have told you a long time ago, about something that's going to hurt you. But I can't keep lying. I can't keep pretending." George's face changed, serious now, concerned. "What is it?" "I'm in love with Pattie. I have been for 2 years. I'm so sorry, George. I never meant for it to happen. I tried to fight it, tried to ignore it. But I can't anymore. And Paul caught me dancing with her tonight. Made me realize I had to tell you, that you deserve to know. That hiding it was worse than admitting it." George sat down, slowly, processing. His face showed pain, betrayal, but also something else. Understanding. Maybe he'd known. Maybe he'd suspected. Maybe part of him had seen it coming. "You're in love with my wife." "Yes." "For 2 years." "Yes." "And you're telling me now because Paul caught you." "I'm telling you now because it's the right thing to do, because you deserve the truth, because I can't be your friend and lie to you." George looked at him, really looked. "Does Pattie know?" "She does now. Paul told her tonight, but she didn't know before. I never told her, never acted on it beyond tonight, beyond dancing with her. I'm sorry, George. I'm so fucking sorry." They sat in silence, long, painful, everything changing, everything breaking, but also maybe something healing, because the secret was out. The lie was exposed. The truth, however painful, was on the table. "I don't know what to say," George said finally. "I'm hurt, I'm angry, but I'm also not that surprised. Pattie and I have been struggling. I've been distant, focused on spirituality, on meditation, on evolution. Sometimes at the expense of my marriage. I felt her pulling away, and maybe I let her. Maybe I pushed her toward you without realizing it. That doesn't excuse what I feel, what I've been hiding. No, it doesn't, but it explains it. Context matters. Intention matters. You didn't choose to fall in love with her. You didn't pursue it. You tried to fight it. And when you couldn't anymore, you told me. That takes courage. That takes honor. You're not going to hit me? You're not going to tell me to leave? To never come back? I'm hurt. I'm processing. But I'm trying to be evolved about this. Trying to see it from a higher perspective. Love isn't ownership. Pattie isn't mine. She's a person with her own feelings, her own choices. If she loves you, if she wants to be with you, that's her decision, not mine to control. Eric stared at him. You're the most evolved person I've ever met. Or you're in shock. I can't tell which. George smiled. Sad smile, broken smile. Maybe both. But here's what I know. You're my friend. You told me the truth when you could have kept lying. That matters. And whatever happens with Pattie, whatever she decides, we'll deal with it. As friends, as adults, as people who care about each other, even when it's hard. The next day, Paul called George. Did Eric tell you? He did, last night around 2 a.m. How are you? Hurt, confused, but okay. He was honest. That counts for something. And I think part of me already knew. Part of me saw it coming. Pattie and I have been struggling for a while. Maybe this was inevitable. I'm sorry I forced it. I'm sorry I made Eric tell you. But I couldn't let him keep lying to you. You're my friend. You deserve to know. Thank you for caring enough to make it uncomfortable, for protecting me even when it was hard. That's real friendship, not the easy stuff, the hard stuff. What happened next took years to unfold. Pattie and George separated in 1974, divorced in 1977. Eric and Pattie got married in 1979. George attended the wedding, smiled, congratulated them, wished them happiness, because that's who George was. Evolved, forgiving, focused on love instead of possession. The marriage didn't last. Eric and Pattie divorced in 1988. Too much pressure, too much myth, too much expectation. But while it lasted, George supported them, stayed friends with both, showed that love transcends ownership, that friendship transcends betrayal when honesty is chosen over deception. June 15, 1970. Paul caught Eric dancing with George's wife. He could have looked away, could have pretended he didn't see, could have let the lie continue. But he didn't. He confronted Eric, forced honesty, demanded truth, and changed everything. Not because he wanted drama, but because he loved George. Because George deserved to know. Because secrets poison friendships, and honesty, however painful, is the only foundation that lasts. That's the lesson. That's the gift. That's what Paul gave everyone that night. Not comfort, not peace, but truth. Hard truth, necessary truth, the kind that breaks things before it heals them. Paul caught Eric with Pattie, forced a conversation, demanded honesty, and what happened next shocked everyone. Not the betrayal, not the love, not the pain, but the grace. George's grace, Eric's courage, Pattie's honesty, Paul's refusal to let lies continue. That's friendship. Real friendship. Not the easy parts, the hard parts, the confrontations, the truths that hurt, the choices to care more about honesty than comfort. Paul did the hard thing, Eric did the brave thing, George did the evolved thing. And everyone learned that love, real love, requires truth. Even when truth destroys what you thought you had. That's everything.